Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
Well, welcome back to Living Local Carolina. I am back at Bad Hair Salon today. I'm with Katie and Sarah. How are y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
How are you? I'm doing great.
Wonderful.
So here at Bad Hair, they're very different. They have a more natural route, but you guys have a ton of diverse clients and you have some pretty specialized things that you're good at. I want to kind of take some time to go into that. First, let's start with you, Sarah.
Perfect.
You are a curly hair specialist.
Absolutely.
This is niche, but it's not, right?
Yeah. So there's a lot more people that have texture that maybe either don't know about it or have never properly been taught how to take care of it. And of course, we have so many different textures, from the tightest of curls to the loosest of waves. And we're here to kind of educate you on all of them.
I love that.
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about what you do.
I'm the bridal director, so I handle all the bridal organizing. I help everybody, send out their contracts for their bridal, for their weddings, and then I help organize our team here, like who's going to do hair and who's doing makeup, and we just have fun with it.
That's a lot to keep track of,
Yeah.
I will say.
Yeah.
So what does a typical day look like for you guys here?
It just kind of depends on the day, but for me personally, again, it's a lot of educating our clients. That's something that always goes back to it. Every curly client that I am with, I go into like our in-depth process of how we're going to style, what we're going to use, why it's going to work for their particular curls, and really get them a personalized and individual routine that's going to work best for their curls. And then we can really break down the actual ingredients that are in our products as well, which helps with my InnerSense training and education. So not only is it great for them, but it's great for their curls as well.
Yeah. And you actually, when you leave the salon, you think your hair looks really good.
Yes.
And then you actually can keep it looking good.
Absolutely.
Day after day.
Because we want to give you the same confidence that while you're in salon, that we send you home with that same routine, that you have the confidence to do it when you go home too.
I love that.
Yeah.
And Katie, it's about to be a real busy season for you.
Yes.
What is that like every year? It's got to be pretty rewarding, right?
It is. My favorite part is seeing everything come together and just, seeing smiles on everybody's faces, the party, the wedding parties. And just, seeing it all come together is very rewarding.
Question. For somebody that is maybe going to become a bride, not naming any names, when would you need to book with you? Like, when would you need to start thinking about that process?
I would say at least 5-6 months in advance.
Okay, write that down.
Yeah, we do book up
Write
pretty
that down,
fast.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised though, a lot of people try to get in last minute, and we're able to work with them too.
I love it. And finally, I want you both to tell me why you love working here at Bad Hair. You guys definitely have a very different dynamic than any salon that I've walked into, but what is it really like?
So I love Bad Hair in general. It really gives you the environment to flourish no matter what your specialty is. We are so diverse, and that allows you to have, what you're the most passionate about. You have a great team of people to support you. There's education on everything, and if you don't know it, we also offer Bad Hair University classes every single Monday to our individual team as well. You can also come from outside as well too. So if there's a topic you don't know, whether it's regular hairstyling and cutting, curly classes, more specialty things, we have you covered. So there's always somebody who can help you, and coaches that are willing to get you to those goals that you want as well. So you're just set up for success here.
I love how our whole team is basically a big family, and I love how different we are, and how, like Leslie said earlier, that we recycle every single thing. I just think that's amazing. Not a lot of salons are aware, that what we put out into the world and how it affects the environment. So
You don't know until you know, people. And now I know. All right. Thank you guys so much for talking to me.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, this might be the most relaxed I've ever been filming a segment. I am at Salt and Detox Oasis with Fabiola. Thanks so much for having me today.
Thank you for being here, Katie.
My goodness. Okay, we first have to address that if you hear some humming in the background, there's a reason for that. Fabiola, what is going on that is causing this noise?
So right now the Halo generator is on. So it is a machine that I use with sodium chloride. The sodium chloride is grounded into very fine particles, and those particles are dispersed into the air. So that is the benefit of the room, where you're breathing that type of salty air, which helps to coat the nasal passages, the bronchial tubes, as well as your lungs, and it acts as a cleaning agent for your respiratory system. So if you do suffer from allergies, bronchitis, or other common respiratory, concerns, or even like the after COVID effects, it's a great way to help relieve your respiratory system and also clean and hopefully enhance it.
This is so cool to be able to walk on salt. You're breathing it in.
Yes.
But it's also the aesthetics of being in here. It's so relaxing.
Yes, it is. So in the process of building this room, really wanted to make it a relaxing environment for everyone who, enjoys this session. So it's really about helping everyone that walks through my doors and giving them relief, giving them a sense of peace, and hopefully they walk out feeling better and feeling that they're able to just conquer what they need to conquer, through the sessions that they experience here.
I know a lot of people watching right now are feeling that way. So if they want to come by and try this room out or try one of your other awesome services, how can they do that?
So I am located at 3885 Renee Drive in the Carolina Forest area. I am, I guess if you are familiar with like the Kroger Shopping Center, that's where you can find me. And my phone number is 843-742-5938. And the website is saltanddetoxoasis.com.
Well, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today again on Living Local Carolina. Today, I am joined by truly the expert when it comes to washing, waxing, the long list of things you have to do to take care of your car and make it look beautiful. Everett, thanks for being with me today.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, you are from Looking Good Auto Detailing. You are the owner of this company.
I am.
Give me a little backstory on how you got to be the owner.
So when I came to Coastal, I'm a Coastal alum, by the way. When I came to Coastal in 2012, there wasn't a detailing facility. Like there were a bunch of car washes, but there wasn't a detailing facility. So I struggled to find a detailing facility. So fast forward to 2016, I moved to a house and I just started tinkering with detailing at the house. And then I got good at it. Well, I've always been good at it, but from a business
caught the
standpoint,
bug though.
Yeah,
You
you know what I'm
were
saying?
like, this is something that I really, really like.
So the hobby then, it was a hobby, then it turned into a passion. And then I had a kid on the way. And then so I'm like, all right, I gotta do something. So my last semester at Coastal was when I actually started my business, and then it took off from there.
It really has taken off since then, because now you're making social media content, you're able to share kind of a little behind the scenes on what you do, because I think a lot of people drop their car off
And they go.
and they go.
They pick it up, they're happy.
It looks great, but you get to show like a piece of what you're actually doing.
Right, the process.
What's that like?
Hectic.
Yeah.
Trying to work and record, and it's been a long journey when it comes to making content.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I didn't start out making content because I was more so focused on these clients' cars. I didn't want to take up the time, and more time, more money, and it's like, it took 4 hours on my car, but 2 hours of it was shooting content.
Yeah.
So
You're weighing the options
right,
here,
you know. But it's also important to kind of show people like to know what's going on behind the scenes. So when I figured out it was important to show people that, I'm just like, I gotta do what I gotta do.
Yeah. So what does a typical day look like for you?
It depends. So I have a team at my shop in Conway, and then we also do mobile as well. So it really just depends on what's on the schedule.
All right. Well, if somebody is interested in learning a little bit more or taking their car to see if you can detail it, where can they find you?
LookingGoodAuto.com. Instagram, Looking Good Auto Detailing, and Facebook as well, Looking Good Auto Detailing.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
The following portion of Living Local Carolina is sponsored by Soteria Protection Services. We're having a great day today on Living Local Carolina because today I am joined by Joan and Brandon from Soteria. How are you guys doing?
Great, thank you.
All right, this is kind of the first of our kind here on Living Local. We've never had somebody from y'all's industry, for lack of a better word. So why don't one of you tell me what Soteria Protection Services is and a little bit about the name and where it comes from?
Okay. Well, Soteria Protection Services is an executive protection firm. And often people think of executive protection as just bodyguards, which we certainly are, but there's much, much more to it. And we can tell you a little bit about some of our other services that will amplify that. But first of all, let me say Soteria is actually, in Greek mythology, a goddess who personifies safety and deliverance from danger. So we felt like that was an appropriate name for our firm, since that's really the underlying ethos of what we do.
Exactly, and it takes some training in order to be able to do this very well. So why don't you tell me about your background?
So I spent an enlistment in the Marine Corps, did 4 years. I was a military policeman, and then I became a canine cop. After that, I worked for the government for probably 5 years as a private security contractor. At that time, I deployed multiple times overseas to Iraq and Afghanistan as a PSD team member and leader, and also a canine handler.
Gotcha. So we talk about the term executive protection. What exactly does that mean, and who needs it, essentially?
So EP work can be celebrities or, you know, a bunch of kids that need to get a ride to school. It's not what people think. It's not just for the wealthy. And that's the point we'd like to get across there.
Was there anything that you guys didn't mention that you wanted to mention?
Yeah, there are other services.
We offer bug sweeps, TSCM sweeps as well.
Okay.
And that's looking for hidden cameras, high-powered magnets where somebody's maybe tracking your vehicle. So
Okay.
there's a wide range of stuff that we can offer.
And the Airbnbs and also rental properties now have policies where they do not want any type of surveillance in the unit. So we can ensure the guests and the property owners who may not know if something was, accidentally left in their unit. We can detect those devices and make them aware of those. I would also mention that we offer a service to both commercial and residential clients in what we call post-storm protection services, property protection services. And as we're very familiar here on the Grand Strand, hurricanes and storms can cause flooding and other problems and chaos, mostly in the aftermath of the storm. So our agents can be on the ground representing the property owner's best interest, again, whether it be commercial property or private residential property. And that's very helpful in terms of getting immediate damage reports. It helps with insurance, it helps with repairs, and also just peace of mind, particularly if you're somewhere else, if you've been evacuated, or as an owner, you're located somewhere else.
Great deterrent for looting.
Yes.
Somebody
yes.
on scene.
Sure. Yeah, controlling access to that property. Even like, nosy neighbors, you don't want them on your property, but just controlling access to their property, coordinating with law enforcement. Again, in the aftermath of a situation like that, there's a lot of chaos, and it can really be helpful to have an agent on the ground representing your best interests.
The following portion of Living Local Carolina is sponsored by Soteria Protection Services.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.